Let me simplify something that most people overlook, yet it changes everything. Every person you admire, the millionaire, the author, the leader, the visionary, has the same 24 hours you do. They don't get extra time. They simply use their time differently. The problem isn't time. It's priorities. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's built deliberately, hour by hour, choice by choice. So here's the question you need to face. What are you actually doing with your 24 hours? Because while some are lost in distractions, others are building empires. While some are scrolling, others are strategizing. And while some are just getting through the day, the successful are designing their future. This isn't about hustle culture. It's about clarity and ownership. It's about small, intentional shifts that transform ordinary days into extraordinary outcomes. So if you're tired of falling behind, if you're ready to stop making excuses and start making progress, this is your moment. Let's start. Success starts the night before. A productive morning doesn't start in the morning. It starts the night before. Most people wake up reactive. They check their phone, rush through the motions, and hope things work out. But hope isn't a plan, and randomness never produces excellence. Successful people do it differently. Before they sleep, they've already outlined their next move. Because a day well lived is a day well planned. I used to think I could wing it. Wake up, drink some coffee, and figure it out as I go. But here's what I learned. If you don't take control of your day will take control of you. And it rarely works in your favor. Here's a principle I now live by. Never start your day until you've finished it on paper. 10 minutes. That's all it takes. Write down what matters most. List what you need to handle, who you need to call, and most importantly, why it matters. Without clarity, you stay busy. With clarity, you become effective. So ask yourself, when was the last time you ended your day with purpose? Not Netflix, not mindless scrolling, not staying up just to stay up. I mean ending your day with direction and discipline. That's what high performers do. They set the tone at night. They protect their mind. They align their actions with their mission. You want a different life? Start preparing differently. Because when you prepare like the average, you live like the average. But when you prepare like the successful consistently, you become one of them. So tonight, don't just fall asleep. Shut down with intention. Lay out your clothes. Review your schedule. Plan your top 3 priorities. Visualize the person you're going to be when the sun comes up. Success doesn't begin in the noise of the morning. It begins in the quiet of the night, when nobody's watching, and you choose who you'll be tomorrow. They say the early bird gets the worm. But let's go deeper. The early bird doesn't just get the worm. He gets the edge. How you start your day often determines how you live your life. Most people begin the day late, rushed, already behind. But those who lead, those who win, they treat the morning as sacred. It's not a time to catch up. It's a time to get ahead, to build momentum, not manage chaos. Every morning you have 2 choices. You can wake up with intention, or you can wake up in reaction. To emails, to notifications, to noise. I used to treat mornings like something to survive. Now I see them for what they are. A golden window, a gift to set the tone for everything that follows. Let me ask you, do you wake up on purpose? Or do you just wake up by default? Because the way you begin your morning mirrors the way you approach your goals, your business, your health, your relationships. And the most successful people, they don't waste the first hour. They own it. They rise early. They read. They reflect. They move their body. They write down their goals. They don't start with the world's voice. They start with their own. You might say, I'm not a morning person. Neither was I. Until I realized, success doesn't care about your preferences. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And mornings? That's where discipline is forged. That first hour is where confidence is built, where clarity is sharpened, where you remind yourself, today I lead, today I decide. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m., but you do need to wake up with purpose before the world places its demands on you. Because if you don't set the tone, something else will. And it rarely works in your favor. So here's the challenge. Start tomorrow differently. No phone. No distractions. Just you, a plan, and a commitment to lead your life, not follow someone else's. Win the morning, win the day. Win the day and you start winning at life. Now let's talk about something just as important. Priorities, not activities. Most people are busy, but busy doesn't mean productive. In fact, some of the busiest people I know are going nowhere fast. They run, they rush, they check boxes. They're exhausted, but not fulfilled. Why? Because they confuse movement with achievement. Here's a principle worth writing down. Don't major in minor things. It's easy to stay active. It's harder to stay aligned. Successful people don't chase activity. They chase results. They focus on what matters most, and they give it their best energy. You've heard of the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. Successful people don't ignore that truth. They live by it. They ask, what are the few key moves that actually matter? What will move the needle? What will build the future? And they make those their priority. Here's the danger. You can spend your whole life being efficient at the wrong things. You can organize, color code, and execute and still be off track. Because it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Ask yourself, do you know the difference between a task and a priority? A task is something to do. A priority is something that, if not done, the day is lost. Successful people don't just fill their schedule. They frame it around what counts. That might mean doing fewer things, but it also means doing better things. It means trading distraction for direction, reaction for intention. Your time is limited, but your focus is powerful. And when you give your best energy to what matters most, you gain time, you build confidence, you create momentum. So look at your to-do list today. Ask yourself, what actually matters? What will move my life forward if I get it done today? Do less of what doesn't move you. Do more of what does. And watch your life change. Not through busyness, but through effectiveness. Let me give you a simple rule for success. If it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. Most people keep their goals in their head. They say, I'll get to it. I'll try. I'll do it when I have time. But the successful operate by a different standard. They know what isn't scheduled is quickly forgotten. What isn't planned doesn't get done. Winners don't rely on memory. They rely on structure. And no, this isn't about cluttering your calendar with every tiny task. It's about owning your time. It's about giving your goals a home. It's about giving your priorities a place to live. Because when something has a time and a place, it finally has a chance. I once heard this and never forgot it. Don't prioritize your schedule, schedule your priorities. That's exactly what the successful do. They don't hope to find time. They make time. They block it. They guard it. They show up for it like a professional. So let me ask you, where on your actual calendar is your growth? Where is your reading, your health, your deep work, your wealth building, your planning, your relationships? Because if it's not on the calendar, it's not real. It's just a wish floating in your head. When your calendar reflects your values, that's when your life starts to change. You stop living by chance and you start living by choice. Here's a challenge. Pull out your calendar. Look at the next 7 days. Ask yourself, does this reflect the person I want to become? If not, change it. Not tomorrow, today. Because when you control your calendar, you control your future. And when your schedule honors your vision, your results start to align with your true potential. Remember this, if it's not scheduled, it's just a good idea. But if it's on the calendar, it's a commitment. And commitment is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. Now let's take it further. Say no to say yes. One of the most important lessons I've ever learned is this. You can't say yes to everything and still win. It sounds simple, but most people fail not because of a lack of talent. They fail because of too many yes to the wrong things. Yes to distractions. Yes to urgency. Yes to random requests, invitations, and low-value tasks. But every yes to something unimportant is a silent no to something critical. It's a no to your health, no to your vision, no to the quiet focus that builds your future. The ability to say no, that's the foundation of focus. And focus is the path to freedom. Successful people protect their time like it's treasure because it is. They don't let guilt run their calendar. They don't let urgency outrank purpose. Every yes must be earned. Every yes must align with the mission. Because time is just like money. You can spend it, or you can invest it. Too many people are spending it on what drains, not builds. So ask yourself, are you filling your days with what's easy, or with what's essential? Sometimes the most powerful word you can say is a calm, clear, respectful no. No to overcommitment. No to time wasters. No to what pulls you off course. So you can say yes to what actually matters. Yes to growth. Yes to vision. Yes to the life you were meant to live. Let me make this clear. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you serious. Serious about your time. Serious about your values. Serious about your future. So the next time something comes your way, ask, does this serve my purpose? Or steal from it? If it serves, say yes with conviction. If it steals, say no without guilt. Because every no to the wrong thing is a louder yes to the right one. Life is full of gaps. Moments when we're not doing much of anything. Waiting in traffic. Sitting at the doctor's office. Standing in line. Waiting for the next meeting to start. Now here's the difference between the average and the exceptional. The average person kills time. The successful, they grow in it. They understand that even small pockets of time can be invested. And just like money, small investments, when repeated, lead to massive returns. Let me give you a simple truth. You don't need more hours. You need better habits inside the hours you already have. The successful turn dead time into development time. They don't just wait. They learn while they wait. They listen to audiobooks. They reflect. They review goals. They grow on the go. You'd be amazed at what 20 minutes a day can do. That's 10 hours a month. 120 hours a year. That's a college course. In your car. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. We all get the same 24 hours. But some people let the gaps drain them, while others use those moments to sharpen their edge. Here's a challenge. Start carrying a book. Create a podcast playlist. Use a digital notes app to capture insights. Redeem those little moments because they're everywhere. You're not just stuck in traffic. You're building your mindset. You're not just waiting in line. You're preparing for the future. Successful people understand something most never do. Every moment has potential if you're prepared to use it. So from now on, don't say, I'm just killing time. Say, I'm using time to grow, because time will pass anyway. But what you do inside that time, that's what determines the quality of your life. And here's how you protect your time. Delegate, automate, eliminate. Let me ask you, are you the only one doing everything in your life? If you are, you're not growing. You're just surviving. I learned this the hard way. Success isn't about doing more. It's about doing less of the wrong things and more of the right ones. You only get so many hours in a day, and not every task deserves your time, your hands, or your energy. Here's the formula. Delegate, automate, eliminate. First, delegate. Some things can and should be done by someone else. Someone you trust. Someone you can train. The successful don't carry every load. They share it wisely, because their time is too valuable to be spread thin. If you're doing $10 per hour tasks while trying to build a six-figure vision, you're moving backwards. Ask yourself, who can do this better, faster, or cheaper than me? Then let them. Second, automate. We live in the age of tools and smart systems. If you're repeating a task every week, stop and ask, can this be automated? Emails, reminders, bills, content posting. You'd be shocked how many hours you can reclaim when you stop being the machine and build one. The successful don't just work harder. They build systems that keep working even when they're resting. Third, eliminate. Some tasks don't need to be done at all. They're not important. They're just noise. Ask, if I stopped doing this, would it even matter? You'll be surprised how much of your to-do list isn't essential. It's just habit. obligation, guilt. The successful are ruthless about this, because every yes has a cost, and the cost is focus. You can't do it all, and you're not supposed to. Your greatness won't come from how much you carry, but from how well you choose what to carry. So audit your tasks. Can I delegate it? Can I automate it? Or should I eliminate it? Because every hour you reclaim, that's a brick laid in the foundation of your future. Make space for what matters. Let go of what doesn't. That's how successful people use time. Strategically, intentionally, powerfully. Waste or wisdom, you decide. How you end the day matters just as much as how you begin it. But most people, they end in escape mode, TV blaring, phone in hand, mind drifting. They slide into sleep without purpose, without reflection. But the successful, they end the day with wisdom, not waste. Here's a principle that changed my life. Never go to bed without gathering something valuable from your day. Every day is a classroom. Every conversation, every win, every mistake is teaching you something, but only if you pause long enough to learn. That's what the successful do. They don't just move from day to day. They extract the lesson, capture the insight, and carry it into tomorrow. So before your head hits the pillow tonight, ask yourself, what did I do well today? What needs improvement? What did I learn about others, about life, about myself? Because wisdom isn't built in the rush. It's built in the review. Evenings feel quiet, casual, easy to overlook. But here's the truth. Your evenings set up your excellence. The successful don't end the day scrolling. They end it by journaling, by reading, by planning tomorrow, by reflecting, and sometimes just by sitting still. Because in that stillness, awareness is sharpened. And awareness, that's where real change begins. Here's your reminder. You can't improve what you don't review. And you can't build a better life without understanding the one you're already living. So make it a habit, not just to live the day, but to harvest it. Before you sleep tonight, write down one lesson, set one intention, and remind yourself who you're becoming. Because the end of the day isn't the end of your effort. It's the beginning of your elevation. If you want tomorrow to be better than today, it starts with how you close today. Don't waste your evenings. Invest them in growth. Invest them in you. Discipline makes the day. Every day. If you want the truth about success, here it is. Discipline is the difference maker. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Discipline. Motivation is great for getting started, but discipline, that's what keeps you going. When it's cold, when you're tired, when no one's watching, and especially when you don't feel like it. Successful people don't ask, do I feel like it? They say, it's on the plan. I do it no matter what. Because discipline isn't about feeling good. It's about doing what's right, consistently, repeatedly, relentlessly. Let me tell you what discipline really is. It's the ability to make yourself do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. And that may sound tough, but the alternative, that's even tougher. Because undisciplined days lead to unfulfilled weeks, which turn into wasted months, which add up to a life you didn't want. Here's the good news. Discipline compounds. Every time you follow through, you strengthen your character. You build your confidence. You gain momentum. Discipline says, I get up when the alarm rings. I stick to the schedule. I finish what I start. I don't wait for the mood. I lead with the mission. And you know what happens? Life starts responding to you differently. Opportunities open. Energy increases. Clarity returns. And you begin to trust yourself again. Because you've proven you are someone who follows through. Let me remind you of something powerful. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a path, a bridge, a gift you give to your future self. So if today felt ordinary, if you struggled, that's okay. Because discipline is a decision, and you can make it again tomorrow. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed. The clock resets every morning, and you get the chance to say, today, I choose discipline again. And that one choice repeated daily makes all the difference. One day at a time. Let me ask you something important. What kind of life are you building? Because whether you realize it or not, you are designing your future, one day at a time, not in the big, dramatic moments, but in the small, ordinary ones. How you spend your morning, how you handle distractions, how you protect your time, how you prioritize what matters. Each day is a brick, and you're either laying it with intention or tossing it, hoping the structure holds. But hope is not a strategy. Design is. The successful know this. They don't drift. They direct. They don't wish. They work. They don't wait. They design. They ask themselves, what kind of life do I want? What does it look like? And what small decision today brings me one step closer? Here's the truth. Your days create your destiny. The life you want isn't built someday. It's built today, in the choices you make, in the routines you protect, in the discipline you practice, in the values you live out. So don't underestimate a single day. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be deliberate. Wake up and lead your day. Put meaning behind your schedule. Put purpose behind your actions. And end the day knowing, I moved in the right direction today. Do that today, then tomorrow, then the day after that. And you won't just wake up one day with a better life. You'll wake up one day and realize you became the person who built it. That's the reward of intentional living. Not just success, but the satisfaction of knowing you earned it. So start small, but start today. Design a morning that moves you. Design a schedule that respects your goals. Design a day that reflects your values. Because when you do that long enough, you don't just build days. You build a life worth living. And it all begins, one day at a time.